Do you remember watching The Lion King on Broadway? The magic of that stage. The music. The costumes. The talented young performers who brought the Pride Lands to life. One of those performers was Imani Dia Smith. In 2011, at just 11 years old, she played young Nala. She danced. She sang. She captured hearts. On December 24 SD, 2025, Imani was found stabbed to death in her New Jersey home. She was only 25 years old. Her boyfriend, Jordan Jackson Small, has been charged with her murder. Imani leaves behind a 3-year-old son, her parents, and 2 younger siblings. A dream that started on Broadway ended in unimaginable tragedy. This is the story of Imani Dia Smith, a talented child star whose life was stolen far too soon, and the warning signs of domestic violence that were missed. Imani Dia Smith was born in 2000 in New Jersey. She grew up in a family deeply connected to the arts. Her mother, Monique Rance-Helper, was a respected Broadway and film hairstylist who worked on productions like The Lion King, Once on This Island, and the In the Heights film. Growing up backstage at Broadway shows, Imani fell in love with theater. She dreamed of being on that stage herself, and she had the talent to make it happen. In September 2011, at age 11, Imani's dream came true. She was cast as young Nala in Disney's The Lion King on Broadway, the role every young performer dreams of. For 1 year, from September 2011 to September 2012, Imani performed 8 shows a week. She sang, "I Just Can't Wait to Be King." She danced alongside the ensemble. She brought joy to thousands of audience members. Reviews praised her energy and talent. Her mother worked on the same production, styling wigs and hair. It was a magical time for the family. But Broadway is a difficult career, especially for child actors. When Imani aged out of the young Nala role at 12, her Broadway career ended. Unlike adult actors, child performers have limited opportunities. Once they grow up, the roles disappear. Imani returned to New Jersey. She tried to build a life after Broadway. But the transition from child star to regular teenager is never easy. Very little is publicly known about Imani's life between ages 13 and 25. She stayed out of the spotlight. She focused on being a young woman, not a former Broadway star. Somewhere along the way, Imani met Jordan Jackson Small. He was 10 years older than her. They began a relationship, and at some point, they had a son together. Imani became a mother at around age 22. But the relationship was troubled from the start. Court records reveal a disturbing pattern. On December 21, 2023, exactly 1 year before Imani's death, Jordan Jackson Small was involved in a domestic violence incident. He was charged with aggravated assault. In June 2024, Jackson Small pleaded guilty to that assault charge. But instead of jail time, he was accepted into a pretrial intervention program, a second chance program for first-time offenders. The system gave him a chance to change, to get help, to stop the violence. He didn't take it. On Sunday morning, December 21, 2024, at 9:18 a.m., police in Edison, New Jersey received a 911 call. Someone had been stabbed at a home on Grove Street. When officers arrived, they found Imani Dia Smith with multiple stab wounds. Emergency responders rushed her to Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in New Brunswick. Doctors tried to save her life, but Imani's injuries were too severe. She was pronounced dead. Jordan Jackson Small, age 35, was arrested at the scene. He has been charged with first-degree murder, second-degree endangering the welfare of a child, third-degree possession of a weapon for an unlawful purpose, and fourth-degree unlawful possession of a weapon. The endangering the welfare of a child charge suggests that Imani and Jordan's 3-year-old son may have been present during the attack. A child who witnessed his mother's murder. Prosecutors confirmed that Smith and Jackson Small knew each other prior to the incident, thus it was not a random act of violence. They were in a relationship. The father of her child killed her in their home. Imani's aunt, Kira Helper, created a GoFundMe to support the family. The fundraising description is heartbreaking. It is with a tragic and heavy heart that we share the loss of my niece, Imani Dia Smith, who was senselessly killed by her boyfriend on the morning of Sunday, December 21st, just ahead of Christmas. Imani was only 25 years old. The family needs help with funeral expenses, crime scene cleanup, trauma therapy for Imani's son and siblings, time off work to grieve, legal costs, and ongoing care for Imani's 3-year-old son, who is now being raised by his grandparents. Monique, Imani's mother, is a freelance hairstylist. Time away from work means lost income during an already devastating period. The family is trying to navigate sudden responsibility for raising a traumatized 3-year-old who just watched his father kill his mother. As of now, the GoFundMe has raised over $46,000. But as the family writes, the true cost of trauma, loss, and long-term healing is impossible to know right now. Domestic violence is an epidemic in America. Every year, thousands of women are killed by current or former intimate partners. Imani Dia Smith is one more name on that tragic list. The warning signs were there. Jordan Jackson Small had already been charged with assault against Imani exactly 1 year before he killed her. The system knew he was dangerous. But he was given a second chance through the pretrial intervention program. That second chance cost Imani her life. Domestic violence rarely happens just once. It escalates. Assault becomes more frequent and more severe. Without intervention, it can end in murder. Experts say there are warning signs: controlling behavior, jealousy, isolation from friends and family, verbal abuse that turns physical, threats, and previous violence. Imani may have tried to leave. Leaving is the most dangerous time for domestic violence victims. That's when abusers are most likely to kill. Or she may have stayed for her son. Many victims stay because they believe their children need a father, or because they fear losing custody, or because they hope the abuser will change. Jordan Jackson Small didn't change. He killed the mother of his child 4 days before Christmas. The Broadway community has mourned Imani's loss. Former cast members, theater professionals, and fans have shared tributes online. Imani was remembered as a bright, talented young woman who lit up the stage. A devoted mother who loved her son. A daughter and sister who was deeply loved by her family. Her death has sparked conversations about domestic violence, about supporting survivors, and about the failures of the justice system that allowed Jordan Jackson Small to walk free after assaulting her a year ago. Imani Dia Smith's story is a tragedy. A life full of promise, ended by violence. A 3-year-old boy who will grow up without his mother, raised by grandparents trying to heal from unbearable loss. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out for help. You are not alone. These services are free, confidential, and available 24/7. They can help you create a safety plan, find shelter, and escape an abusive relationship. Leaving is dangerous, but help is available. Don't wait until it's too late. Imani Dia Smith deserved better. Her son deserves to grow up knowing his mother was talented, loved, and taken far too soon. Rest in peace, Imani. Broadway remembers you. Your family will never forget you. And your story will help others recognize the warning signs before it's too late. Subscribe to Then and Now Stories for more stories that matter. Stories that raise awareness. Stories that could save lives. Comments are monitored. Please keep discussions respectful. This is about a real family experiencing unimaginable pain.